Okay, so we're going to go over the scoring of the DASH, and it's pretty simple. In order to obtain the disability symptom score, you simply refer to the questionnaire, you go through the client's reported values, you're going to add these up, go ahead and add them up. So just for time's sake, I already added Mary's score up to 40, and since she responded to 30 of the questions, I'm going to divide by 30 to find the average score. It's important to note that the client must answer at least 27 questions on the DASH in order for it to be scored. So her average is 1.33, and to convert her average to a score on a scale of 0 to 100, 0 being no disability, 100 meaning a high level of disability or impairment, you subtract the average score by 1 and then multiply this value by 25. So Mary's score for the DASH was 8.33 out of a scale of 0 to 100. Although Mary and I don't have the manual for the DASH, using clinical judgment, we deducted that this is a relatively low score, so that her scores indicate that she has very slightly limited to no limited impairment as far as upper extremity tasks. We're going to go to the optional sections, the optional modules, and again it's the same method for scoring for these. You score each optional module that they answer separately, and for these they have to answer all of the questions of the module in order for it to be scored. Again, it's the same process. You add up the scores, you find the average, you subtract 1 and multiply by 25. So she answered 1, 2, 2, 2, so that adds up to 7 divided by 4 because that's the amount of questions. You take that value, subtract 1, and then multiply that by 25. So Mary scored 18.75 on the work module. Again, that's a pretty low score. We don't have access to norms or the manual, but we think that's a pretty low score. We think that she's not having too much trouble performing activities at work. We go down to the sports and performing arts module. Same process, we won't walk you through that. We'll just go ahead and flash forward to her score, which is 56.25, excuse me, which is substantially higher than the previous score she's had on the DASH so far. Again, since we don't have the manual, we don't know how significant this type of score would be, but again, we do note that obviously it's much higher than the rest of the DASH score, so we can deduct that Mary is having more trouble performing sports activities due to her surgery than in other aspects of her life.